Amade shema mu nyina aju UTV asuni omamu nsem ne amahodo so de awosemu ason so enu na nanwum anuanom mienu yaje adwa ye de ebesom kasebo ekwan so ye kasebo yi enwumeko bia daroma na ye de esom specialized mineral water wo na ebo ye chidom saso na special drinks unya bi no noma ebebo awpa nita benkwan nitfufo wo nyina ebo ye chidom ene enwume saso na best point savings and loans best assurance omunyina eka ho bi na kasiede di mu akotene bi ene se cabinet wo mo age afi 2025 budget ya yede ato wo se yakomho asika yede bo ye ho bra no atom
sanso enaban ekire se oba besi gas processing plant de tosuminu ewo tema
ewon senfofro mu no energy minister Yerajina Pode atodwa se enya de a ye low shedding bia na eniema ebetuto ye enchekra wonkani ansem
obani okasa edema ban onmonyamfo Felix Ofozukwache ose NDC aban eba be aban a emunipa aye adwuma moman no ombe ketuwa bi Ghana bakosemi
saso ena mpanyimfo bo amane se yade a wombobo akonya ato ho amema eba no abefo kwan efa so edi dwuma ena afei se de ma begina won naso brane ewo sikasem empejam
ochira yeda ewiase nyina ayesi ho ayede se nwanom ma enumunyam International Women's Day na wahya hofa ene ewo mai
ensema foforo bi kan wenum ho ene na nwanom mienu yaje adwa ayede esom midin de amasa konkomankoma jesi minimini abema
David Ofori Safo
yetiasi ensem no emu abusuafo amani ato yapono so echese eyade a ye kase cabinet wo mo age afimpi mienu ni aduonu enum ye budget akonhoma sika no atomu a wono mo ehwe se enchekora no ye parliament ene osoafo a wo hwe o man sika sam so no Yera Kesel atofosen wono mo nyina bekeka niema asi ani na afei ye tumi ehwe na ye sika no ye di ne frenchem ye afoforo bi mafremu na ye tumi atoto eniema eye enti wei ane nsem a empanyifo ede abetodwa na wo kire se eyade a beboa ama Ghana se yesika sam no enyina ye yesika sam no enkoye ne senti budget no so ne ho kire na huhuro wo mu kakra so ye beye ne ketewe sew aboa sade ye beye a ye betumi afiri aho kire no mu afiri Yera John Dramani Mahama wo kire mu a wo se wo hwa a niema atitire a ho hia no eno ho na ye di budget ni bedi dwuma nya se ye be se sika sade Ghana ye sika sam da bia no da bi ye mese no sanse ebi ni ho indi kakra na ewo ho no ye bewe so na ye di adidwuma kakra ewo yen ye maimu na chese ye gina ye so ye gina ye na so brane na enko ye se ye ni sika so ye be ye dwa so hantan fi areho abe di sika funya na afei ye so so a ye bre
Yaremo ko so afohe ahonene ensem so monyamfo John Abdullahi Jinapo obani dia atodwa achese aban mu cabinet agiatumu a enche bia oman no yebabesi yen gas processing plant etoso mienu obani chese ho akohia sanse Ghana yen energy sector no ye hia ahonene dodo na entina enche womabesi bi ewotema
the Turbo gas processing plant can generate about 100 mm/scf. ENI can generate about 235 mm/scf. And then Nigerian gas can move up to about 100. But because of increased demand, you still have a shortfall of about 100 mm/scf. And so it's not as if all these plants are not producing. They are producing, but because demand is increasing, it means that consumption of supply is also increasing. And as you bring on more supply and thermal complementation, you will require some additional gas. And that is why there is that shortfall. So clearly, there is the need to immediately construct a second gas processing plant because we have stranded gas. Gas is much more cheaper than liquid fuel. If you use liquid fuel, it will cost you 3 times as compared to gas. And gas is more efficient, it generates better power, it promotes longevity of the plants, and is much more reliable. And so that is why we are doing everything we can to achieve a gas to power era. In September, the ENI plant was shut down, which means that we'll be losing about 240 mm/scf of gas. If nothing is done, it can lead to a potentially 1 1,300 megawatts of a deficit in power generation. And so we are working around the clock to mitigate that impact. September is a major challenge for this country. It's so short. Energy sector investment takes a long time to come to fruition or realization. But we are still working around the clock. Just like we're able to hold the system in March when the West African gas pipeline was shut, we are working around the clock and we would brief everybody along the line. In terms of timelines, we are determined to work around 1 year, 6 or 8 months. Normally it takes more than 2 years, but we want to bridge the process and fast track it so that we can achieve full operation within the shortest possible time.
Yera John Jinapo ya woye energy minister Ediatu Ejase minority ni nsemu a wono can say said ye danse nkani a ne dundundum kakra ntie be ya ene omo fa timetable mra san se dumso na aba no wo chese dumso maaye na de minority ene Ghana fo bi ebisa no wo hu ni said the minority kana ehun hia ai ogitumu ese nkani ano esinto bi aba na so enye se yadrudum so yenudum so na wose wagitumu pa se ya power system no se aye week ni nyina nkamfo ano Ghana ye kasa se ye sporti ahoden ne 300 megawatts of power ena de ko Burkina Faso eni Benin ko ma wonom de so nkane a entinye se atete apansam kra na eniyema ba ku mienu bi ena atechema wo mugu so eye ho adwuma.
The energy sector we inherited is riddled with poor infrastructure, huge unsustainable and mounting debts. At the last reconciliation before cabinet, the energy sector debt stands at over 80 billion cedis. ECG's receivables stand at only 8 billion. And so if ECG were to collect all their receivables, we'll still have a shortfall of more than 70 billion. But what is more worrying is that the debt keeps ballooning and increasing. The infrastructure, very, very poor. And what we used to call excess capacity now appears dwindled, and we have to start preparing to increase the capacity in order to meet the demand requirement. We require about $700 million worth of liquid fuel in order to fill the fuel deficit, because our gas today is inadequate to meet our fuel requirements. Consequently, Cabinet has approved a raft of measures aimed at tackling the situation in the medium, long, and even in the short term. Cabinet has approved that in partnership and in conjunction with the Finance Ministry, we take immediate steps to construct a second gas processing plant. This gas processing plant would augment the shortfall and increase supply security. Today, let me put on record that we are not shedding load. And so the demand by the minority and some people that we publish a load shedding timetable is mute. When you are not shedding load, there will be no need to publish a load shedding timetable. In fact, as we speak, we are exporting about 300 megawatts of power outside Ghana to Burkina Faso, to Benin, and to other neighboring countries.
Yetu akasebo no eso na yeko swafo no ene kasa ema aban onmonyamfo Felix ofosu kwache asoye na nsensem bia betodwa se Ghana mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wa faswafo omom yedwuma na aban mu bebre na no nyamfo Felix ofosu kwache kire se sansem no enye nukre bia enim sanse mampani John Dramani Mahama sabria swafo no yedwuma no omuye edunum ensia 56 ode toto abanda da edu ebi omuye 110 na ese mampani die eswakra ebise enna ukọ Jubilee House a presidential staffers womu ebro be 200 osi anu kwanso ye nokre womu a mampani afo womu ye dwuma o Jubilee House no womu ye duasa 30 pe ode toto kane aban MPP a no me 336 na se NDC aban nipa mo adwuma wo mu no wo mo ye ketewa bi yenti sama pani no odi tudwa.
In the last few days about the staff of the office of the president, I made it quite clear during the debate in parliament what the exact position is, but just so that people are not swayed by the misinformation put out by the honorable MP for the Damongo constituency, it is important for me to reiterate and clarify what the exact position is. To begin with, President Mahama made a firm commitment that he was going to cut down on the size of government. He put a specific number to the ministers that he will be appointing. Everybody heard him say he will appoint 60 ministers. That is including deputy ministers. He also made it clear that he was going to cut down on the number of political appointees at the office of the president. Now, regarding ministers, he has done exactly as he promised. As I speak, he has made a total of 56 nominations for ministerial positions. All the ministers of state have been approved and passed by parliament and have been sworn into office and are working, including my good self. There are deputy ministerial nominations currently before parliament, and all of them have gone through vetting. We expect that they will be passed or approved by parliament in the next few days, after which they will be sworn into office. There are 4 outstanding deputy ministerial nominations that His Excellency will be making, and as and when he makes them, we will make it known to the people of Ghana. Now, when you come to the presidential staff, the Damongo MP claims that the president is making up for the shortfall in ministers with appointments at the presidency, and it is particularly disappointing because he once worked here as a deputy chief of staff, and so you would expect that he will be familiar with these matters and the positions thereof. Let me put it on record that everybody who has been appointed as a presidential staffer has been named in a statement put out by myself. So currently there are 27 presidential staffers. All of them were publicly announced, unlike in the past, where we only learned of them when the president submits a list of the presidential staff to parliament. This time, we went ahead to inform the people of Ghana about this list and left nobody in doubt about the numbers. In addition to these 27, 3 people have been appointed to assist with some specific interventions that the president wants to embark upon. And they are referred to as directors. They do not have the ranking of presidential staffers. At best, they can be described as presidential aides. There are just 3 of them. If you add it to the list of staffers, that is 30. Beyond that, no other staffers.
Kwanche for Penyini ya wano neda Center, Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs ano, Dr. Rashid Draman edi atudwa se, ma edom kesi wo emrahye dwam no nyese ye edom kumano omusu adodo enti empo se yesu esu committees ahodo eni wonom nso efamu dia obetumi ayode aboama government business akoso no my Ghana afa ntoma pefra no kwayese edom kese no edi wo mododo be hye wo so ama wo mkasabo aka wo yam na wo ntumi nya adwuma so titiri bi eni a ekoba ne sa emwa wo se yema wonom kwan se minority ma wo munya chefa omo entumi fo wo ma no nto ensem ahodo bi a ebia entwa yie mu enche wonom adwen ye ne sa Ghana betumi afa ntoma pa efra.
Yes, I think it has to do with the presidential, the State of the Nation address, the debate on it. And they came up with this formula. Already they have a formula, like in terms of composition of parliamentary committees. Over the years, that's how it is done. It's based on ratios. So right now, NDC is at about 188, 190, and MPP is about 50 something or so. So maybe you can see a ratio of more than 2 to 1. That's applied to committees, that's applied normally to parliamentary delegations and so on. But in this particular case, honestly, I disagree with the NDC in terms of their reasoning, because the president came to present the State of the Nation address, and this is the first State of the Nation address, and it is talking about the mandate of the MPP, a mandate that just ended. If a debate is being done, I don't even think that the NDC people have anything to say. I mean, it is more the MPP, because the president has said a number of things, and the NDC, the MPP group disagree with most of what the president says. I think in fairness to them, we should give them the space for them to also tell Ghanaians, I mean, you know, what the true, or what their views are vis-a-vis what the president said. So I don't know what the NDC is afraid of, honestly. And also in terms of, I mean, the space for the minority that we expect to be the group that can hold the government to account. I think they should give them the space and stop this business of ratio 2-1 or that kind of thing. Honestly, for the sake of our democracy, for the sake of expanding the frontiers of our democracy and giving space to the opposition, the minority, to do its work, let it be a free-flowing debate. Anybody who has to contribute, let them be given the space to contribute.
Onyame admachina eye dasro nko a ewiase nyina eyesi honmo a ye de hye yennuanom ma enumunyam eno nam so bepiem o man Ghana mu a aso ye hwe ema ne nkwada yidi eso wo mo ahye ho fa ama wo manante afa enkran monten eso na gender minister onumunyam for Dr. Agnes na momo lati ene kasa ye odwumadi na se.
What we need is to work together. Yes, criticisms are important, but more so, we need to work together to amplify our voices and ensure that in all spheres, the voices of women and our issues are well represented and articulated. If we can't support each other to achieve this, no one will do this for us. Her Excellency, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, the first female Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, has pledged her support to keep the door open for many women to ascend the highest height of leadership at this level. This is a good opportunity we need to take advantage of. As we see her walk the talk, it inspires hope and support to keep us going or supporting each other to reach our promised land. We as women, with our he for she's, the bold ones, that is the men who are supporting the women, our leadership and our activities, have embarked on this work. And it's a work that has reflected what we have been doing over the past 50 years of women's machinery, national machinery in Ghana, telling the story of the journey so far. Our gathering here at the ministries is to also indicate that we picked lessons from the past, and these lessons are supposed to help our forward march to ensure that we make greater strides than we have done in the past. No one should be left behind.
Observe kasi boy fi UTV so e be sem agin krato ye ba ensem no bebre e wono mo ye beto aso amamo. Omade share sama wina kwa baba UTV kaseboyi eso yeto ansem so amamo.
Yeto so dia na yeboshi akọ communications ministry ya oswafo oda no eni yera Sam George odin sembi atodwa nasema woka nyina ne se aban eden hyehyɛ ne niema egu akwan so ya wode beboa emama ma agina wona so eba no abefo nkitahudie ho nsam so na kyese ICT no nya de betwa maagya se de be ya yensu ebenya gina bie bi ewa amamuo mu ene oman empuntuo odidin nsam we nyina atudwa ebra na female in technology conference ya etwaniti ya se Femitech womo edi wonjuma a wokasa wase no wo kye eniema ahodo a womudi gu akwan so ede aboa emman so se yebegina ye na so.
Aside the policy front, we are making deliberate efforts to ensure that women are well positioned in the sector. During the recently concluded Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, I engaged in discussions with the Women in Digital Economy Fund. We explored ways to advance the important initiatives to also benefit Ghanaian women. Let me state it clearly. I am an advocate for Femitech, and I will want to assure you that I will work towards an equitable representation of females in all these initiatives that government is going to roll out, be it the 1 million coders program, the BPO startup ecosystem, the FinTech fund. There will be a positive discrimination under my watch for women-led tech businesses. Our focus as a government is the implementation of programs that seek to deepen the digital experience of Ghanaians by creating the right environment to foster the development of the right digital culture for innovation to thrive, while at the same time putting in measures to ensure a safer cyberspace. The key steps that John Mahama administration is taking through the ministry includes the review. First and foremost, we've ordered a review of all the sector legislation to bring them in tandem with recent developments in the ecosystem. We cannot be operating with legislation that are old in such a dynamic sector where things change by the day. The process has started in all our agencies, and just this morning I received an email from the Director General of CASE with a new draft bill for the Kofi Annan Center of Excellence, because I've instructed all my agencies to review their legislation. We cannot be in a digital age and claim that we want to build a digitally inclusive country. Meanwhile, our legislations are dinosaurs. Most of the legislation I met in the ministry, and I think today makes it exactly 4 weeks since I was sworn into office. And when I came into the ministry, the first meeting I had, in fact, before my vetting, I met with all the agency heads and said to them that I'm not going to be minister of an industry or a ministry that's using legislation in ICT, some of which are 17 years old. I mean, you're kidding yourself, you know. So I've asked all the agencies to review their legislation, and before June this year, I'll be laying fresh legislation before Parliament for all the 11 agencies under the ministry to ensure that our legislation is forward-looking.
With statistics showing that women occupy a far smaller percentage of the many jobs that are in the ICT sector as compared to their male counterparts. And according to a report by the World Bank, women only make up less than a third of the workforce in the technology-related jobs, and that is not good. And so that is why we are keen to use this platform, this forum, to help bridge the gap as it is now. However, there's still more to be done. So I want to use this platform to appeal to all of us here to support initiatives like Femitech, which seeks to push women to get careers in the ICT sector, and also get these women who pick up these careers into leadership positions to help grow the women presence and also help to bridge the gap.
Echina aye ema wo wiase nyina eda International Women's Day na Ghana Enterprises Agency womo ahye hofa ewo omayemu na dwumadi ekoso no so afọ hwenkramantam so onomunyamfo Linda Akwele Obenewa Okulu one kasa dwumadi no ase ochese ebradu so oman nyina ye ben hyehyeye a ebeboa na manso adiyie ewo omayemu.
As we celebrate
women's achievements. We must also renew our commitment to creating an enabling environment that allows them to strive and succeed. You will agree with me that when women have access to education, financial resources, and technology, they create sustainable business, generate employment, and drive innovation. We must continue to invest in capacity building programs that enhance women's skills and knowledge, enabling them to scale up their enterprise and contribute meaningfully to the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, market expansion is crucial for economic growth, and women-led businesses must be at the forefront of this expansion. As a government, we are committed to supporting policies that provide market access, financial support, and business-friendly environments for women entrepreneurs. We must encourage partnerships between the public and private sectors to create opportunities that allow women to penetrate regional and global markets. Our government remains dedicated to implementing policies that promote gender equality, eliminate barriers to business growth, and provide women with equal opportunities. Through these initiatives, such as financial literacy programs, microcredit schemes, and digital market platforms, we will continue to empower women to compete effectively in both local and international markets.
G Gina Hotichu Emma enti dia ye de aboa Emma de ye gusu aye wo hwe ye baseball project here eye ma chichu na ye hwe eye apprenticeship to entrepreneur eye agribusiness to entrepreneur any injuma existed dada omo nyina chichu ene exhibition ya ye Emma nko na omo niama omo munjuma omo ye no G aso masene no omo da no edi wa ha enti Emma nhihye ye de ba bia ya ba bedru no eye wo hwe government ye ono so won nhihye by also the Women's Bank eba also the National Apprenticeship eba me so migina he na ye say migina homo mampani ne nhihye enti dia ban no ahihye so oba be ya magana fo no eso nto aso na ye ba be ye ewoji ye dia boa Ghana micro businesses and as small businesses and medium businesses wo man mu no ye ma emra no aya na adwuma kra ye oba eni ni kunu adwuma na taxes ni ade enti emamra no en support ye yie ema ye ntimi enko ye nim yesre aban se onhwe emra ni biem de etoso biem gi yefo under the baseball project no ye boa omo ndwuma to get a certification oral seat ena ye ni FDA for dia wa ye adwuma esese ohia FDA certification no ye wo office wa ha ye beboa wa ma won saka ye bebre a ye gusu ye enti access to market ebi ne Ghana mo ye yesi ya ye de boa ye nuanom ndwuma ne ya showcase to the world said dia Emma ye nie
you abusia yetoa ensem no so arocha Ghana ye kuo bi a wonomo ehwe ye mpatam aho ne die ne titiw ye kwaye yensuo ehon nsem so wo ne kuhudo bi enhye aban ase na wasem a wode etudwane se wo mu hia se animanimu ya Eastern South Police Command DCOP George Body Bossman na fe divisional police commander ya wada chebi ACP Reynolds Sam ewepoye mantam mpanyimfo yi yenyi wonom emfamfiri ho ne nyina ne se yede won beto ho se won hwe se bambofo na galamse etuo ni nsu a ehunu won patam ho emrase na soso kamya ye se wantumi ani dwuma enti yesoma won de kɔ ho no enti se wo mantumi anye de a na wo se wosan ekɔ wonchi saya ene wo mo se oman mpanyimfo
eno ye hwe se na galamse issues no ejinsem utu kwan efi Accra bebia obekfa bia wo kotakwa wo ko Kumase wo ko Osino wo ko Fantiakwa bebia obefa bia no galamse eda ho a ejina so a ekoso pa yi a se yentu ye ne nsi foma ye behwe ade pa enti ena no ye hia ya ye pese ye di nsemsembi etudwa ema achochorofo etumi ede nsemi so ede ko abonten ema yen na yensema ye de ba no eye baako 6 na de to edikan no ye about ye ina say yenim no emra bi a ye hihye ye abandada no hihye ye ye frɛ no li 2462 a emma ho kwan say yetumi ekotu fom agudie ewo ye kwaye a ebo ye ho ban ebo ye nso ho ban ewo Ghana no ye ina ye gye atum abandada na ebetwa mu akɔ no abandada no agye atum say samra ne de o se yi efri ho ono kwa start edin hihye bi to kwan mu a ye de instrument bi na community parliament say ye revoke sa airline no omo ntumi enwie edwuma na omo de se omo but sisi aso na aban foforo so aba no omo kasemu ansa na omo ba aban mu no omo ka say omo ba sa airline no omo so be revoke sa airline but sisi an ye hwa we are more than 50 days into the tenure of the new government. Aban fufuro ba ye eya ko almost 2 months. Issues of oral ni na ya kan ho nsem enyoma bebre akoso of parliament mpenifo ya kan sensem bebre but ye hu se sa airline hu nsem no ebe pie wo parliament a ya start say ye tu ho na mo say ye yi sa mra we efi ho enti ye hia ya enen no ye pese ye kire say sisi ade ye nimre. It's a say aban make sure say in temporarily obetime make sure sa airline no ye free ho any what divisional command ni na e wo chebi eso mining activities no say e koso de obi hu say na ebetime solve issue no it's e kamia ye say empenifo na omuda sa police commands enim no ye feel say omu adwuma no abro mo so omuntumi ye omedwuma enti yesre se aban no onye nhihye se empenifo mienu baako a oda Eastern South Police Command Commander DCOP George Bwedi Bosman ena baako so oda Divisional Police Command ACP Renault Sam no yeyi omu ina mfiri ho na yemfa police fo a omo betumi abe solve sa illegal mining impunity issues no amayen
Galamsey ho ensema no yedemo kopie mu ewo sehwi Kofi Krom ewo sehwi akontomra mensino emu Western of Mantam no emu emabuna ho adehye wo kuro no mu wo ayo ye kire kese pa sansom se Galamsey koso wo kuro ni mu a China fo bi na begu ho ni Ghana de hye bi na omo ye Galamsey se omumfuo ensu omonum nyina omo ese no na de ha dwen kra ne se wo mo hina wo krom wonso no etai Galamsey fo ye chi nti ne omo ayo ye kire pa etio hene no ene Galamsey a ekoso wo sehwi Kofi Krom
tie kon ekono aye Ghana kon esan se 1992 constitution e wo honom no etia illegal mining aye nyina ye di adanse pefe na fra from wo ha ena no pa no ye nyina mohun dwumadi akoso ni edikan ane se ya nana aye from nana Kofi Tawia o tie akonya so sisi ai ya na yade no si akonya so nyina ya gitumu asabusia asoman se from hanom no yempe Galamsey arikudenti a yempe Galamsey na ne se ye wonsuo ba akopa ye friend tano eno na ya yesa ade adware ye de no aduane ye numbi ansuo tano no a ye mamenom ye papanom ye nuama ye wo fa asefo enom ade no aduane no emu enanana aye Galamsey ko ho at the 11th hour aye nura wenya nentia se maburu na kan mo ho abom abaye oye kire ade atia ninyuma bone a odi wo kuradua mu no anadwo nara wa ma o asese o mu fidie nyina akọ ye poma ne ye die ye mpese yade ye mpese busuo abeba kuradua mu no to no se na ye ye hihye nyina ne se na naso apam o mo a ye da na se sase wo manya Kofi Krom manya adwuma papa bia ni ha ye dua ni adoa moko enkuruma bodie nana cabbage ani ye yo wo ba so beka yanya bom wo ba so di mpuntu e baba Kofi Krom nana mpuntu ani Galamsey na nana maburu ne ye di ho yaw ya di ho ya ye de atudwe ye nim se yewura mo de o mutie ye me no ka say ye si yewura atia ne na chi kakra ye de petition akoma no e okatachi ahimfie e won secretary ye de petition akoma regional minister ye de be police commander regional police commander ye de be ma nana the petition abusu apanyini ane ohema omu nyina ya awe se emabunu ayewo oyekwa abusu mu no ye se ye mpreso na se nana antie na wantie ya asem a ekwan ya ye fa so ye bebo ye japade no ho ban ye mane nye no ye mane nye
Mpanyi for madawo ma yesrem ne ato nkretia wa ye ba ye beto ansem no so.
Abusuafo ma munyina kwa baba UTV kasebwe eso yesanto ansem so amamo.
Yebo hwini akopie mu wa Asante Mantam Asante Mantam so afo onumunyamfo Dr. Frank Amoakohene ye kase ye de wodi domonim ese Independence Day celebration se Ghana ye di mfie aduosia nwotwe na nsese ye da so etena fimu enti ono a hye ne Wellington boot grogro bi afa ne seka afa ne sofi ade atiasi gotamu mfikyire dodo kumase monten so atete monka mu ane manfo eka ne ho
enche bia nsuo astate etoto nsuo etoto no how mienu ana titiri ye tade ba in the flood aspect no ana ye how besta ye betumi asia no alaba ye ma sanitation officers no behwe ye no ene assemblyman ne mpanifu ahwa no so behwe ye no na ye said aye no ye ntu ho na mo animonimu ya ahoya na nsuo no esatoto ne mu odia na yankwa kwoti asempa ma we said ya hanetie na hane so pa ye shase o manhia ane ye de na musa de ababetwa mu alaba ha e de akofa edwa ahodo akanu na moving forward no the way how we will be able to sustain this because akoya de say obi ye ni nwura ofia no de aba be guru gata ni and obi aye shop na ono no di nwura na gu nanim no o twa se nsuo beto na apia free nanim ho e de akọ ye ba ye no e de difo no so ne ye di nkomo ye mfa e town council e sanitation and environmental health officers ni bi emra ha na omune station ene ye wo ye fi o ba bia na wa hwe se de obehwe so a ne asama wo na ne fine kra watua na timi ama na ye nsenda ho na timi aboa ma ye wi adwuma nyina no atimi akipi ana sustain same.
Honorable Regional Minister Honorable Frank Amoakohene ede asina ni so sa obehwe sa asanteman awunidie afa ne ntoma pa afra ne santi obaye wahihye se nyase ye beyi dabia si ho se National Sanitation Day na mom dabia ahunidie da ne santi ene akoya Ghana ye fa ahudie dai na ose ompese ye de beda anasa ye de beji ahome keke na mom ye mfa ensiesie ye mpotamu eti ye send signal amobi ase baby awo bi a shase na siesie wo mpotam se de be ya ahudidie mapa ebe fa ne ntuma pa afra ewo Asantema mu
Egusa wa Asante Mantam no emu na Asante Hene His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei the second on employing at the Hill Comfort Anoche project aba Chesa Asantema nyina ehwe ni nsisi Confanoche Abanya Sabia. And on am so Jumaku Freno, Jesmo Group of Companies, woman this car no sombo $1.2 million SCC Block A. Abansoro, Twasuminu, Umasi Lina, Dinkunyania, Kadia Udo, Eguhonma Sabia Munokase, Wamo Ede Ashe Sabian Penifono Elsa.
Jesmo Construction. Yeah, for Bahana on Nia. Nti obaye na just was one has so baba be fem na o hand over the completed ones to the hospital authority and to the patients about the patients there the makeshift ward that Confanoche provide there sending your holiday and ka baby amunye concern ka patients na about hono just more we make us say we be $1.2 million say or the bono the we are self and na no unya mo 1% how bit me to some amount idea so any idea sombo yi papa aboa and enya no nko na no about na o twetwe mo buy no e ka oxygen bed heads no Basanso committee said Basanso tia sika for the oxygen plant at the Ama Confanoche I need to pay $500,000 and yet at the Kitwa and Wayan. This is impacting humanity. This is impacting society, and we are very grateful to him. Not only him, other sponsors in so many. But don't mean us. We will swear they are this idea to Adolfo. Demand na financial say wa wo de man na wo de man isan say ye nya say skama ye ntimi de enye
das baba pa em say menu ni adman jawe de din komo akwachire na ni nyina ekowie wo otikoko so ye nyina Asantema ra na Otumfuo Osei tutu enyi ebra na edana kuma so sɛ obesiesie ayaresabea a yɛfrɛ no Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital na the project no watu din Komfo-Anokye bibia a yɛtumi ayɛ bia na yɛwurade ɛna ɛde nhyɛ nsuo agu so ama awie pɛyɛ ɛhɔ kakra yɛbɛka ka ho ne sɛ yɛmmɔ mmɔden a sɛ yɛhwɛ so yie sɛ adwuma ne so yɛwura ogusu a ɔpere sɛ ɔde bibia bɛkɔ wie nti deɛ yɛtumi ayɛ no yɛmmɔ ho ban yie yɛnsiesie ne yie bibi kora wɔ hɔ a na nka ho a yɛbɛtumi de aka ho a yɛmmɔ mmɔden na add value to it na ɛnyɛ krabɛhwɛ ama ahyɛ dodoɔ no nso nkwan na ɔmo so atumi aba abɛkɔ
na yɛde aseda ɛma Pepsodent na Daroma ana yɛde kasɛbɔ yi ɛbɛda mo na ama me nanse kwa na me hu sɛ saa do adi twies no yɛfrɛ no toothpaste yesu nyina yɛsoma kɔtɔ Pepsodent bra kɔtɔ esanse no na papa so de ase abusua sɛ wobɛtwi osi a ayafa Pepsodent etwi osi yɛwɔ ne chako Pepsodent chako yesu sasa no body tree obobɔ na de bidie aka ho ɛno na Pepsodent ayɛ ne kama dese unhia body tree any bidie bia Pepsodent chako honum your Pepsodent cavity fighter Pepsodent say obeda nwumre ya fa bi twetwe osen chano panso sori a fa Pepsodent etwe osen na matade ehemi eye Grosser Ventures epacho heritage month ne we pam Ghana ntade ehye Grosser Ventures ne be pam ntade nyina amawo freno 0244 250 420 0244 250 420.
Midende amma sapon kuma Jesse Mene
David Ofori Safo. Yes, also a fiada Yamuko Enely Friday Bonanza and my bunina. It was from the Camina.
Abusiafo mama jomo makwaba about the Brennan Hall of the National Lottery Authority. And then Friday name mum ye Fortune Thursday. Say the mu amuni mangasa na no na ya fofida na ye independent holiday nangasa. Enti yetimi amfa live draw nangasa ama tisha so dedi. And ye Fortune Thursday na ye the Friday bonanza ni nyina ene edua ya. All right. Efrem Robert na natural bakwedia. Obeti ma frem na. Say the mu na yemra ne there. It is rated 18 years and above. Unya 18 years adwuma we nu kwa so divie mum so motwa bie na mo twen no ye de behihya so sesi a yensem rekra e be frɛ ye senior security big boss Papa J oba bebie machine so amai na de ahihye so all right yes ye de behihya so yie bigidi ye say holiday no nya ni wie yo all right wa check e wa bie so edam fu a okay yensem re ye be unum say ya wo empanifo aguguda mo hwɛ ye ma dwumadie ba. A representative from the Ministry of Finance, a rep from the Judicial Service, and of course, a representative of Watermama, the Director General of NLA Ankasa, or Tempenifor, and Amasema Mwakwaba. With the American Semra, a referee penny move back, no baby inspector boss, no, always say Bibia the D. Near the Medina Shisheso. Umiamu some Cassia Pensiano. I had here, Nakano, Obio, one Tibia Catcher, said. O we had more NLA, however, too sure. A month for dear month for